Welcome back to yet another installment of the Prince O'Near video lecture series. You know, we've been dealing with how do we take our lives, our families, our businesses to extraordinary heights, so to a place that our names are literally written among the stars, where we change our lineage and our community for generations to come. You know, we examine that it's the small things that count. It's the little things, the ethics, the virtues, that we literally build each success upon. But today we want to examine how do we break the cycle. You know, they say success is not an act, but it's habit. And I happen to agree with that philosophy, that way of thinking. But let me pose a question to you, that if success is not an act, but the result of habitual patterns, consistent lifestyle, in deeds, how much more is failure? How much more is defeat? I have to submit to you that if success is habitual, then failure is habitual. And sometimes we have to get to a place where we decide that it's not our Father leaving us that resulted in where we are, that it wasn't our girlfriend having the abortion that caused us to have so much bitterness and resentment internally. That it wasn't the fact that we grew up in the wrong neighborhood or the wrong environment that caused us not to be able to achieve success. But it is a direct result and directly correlated with the patterns, behaviors, lifestyles, and acts that we've consistently displayed that has gotten us to the place where we find ourselves today. You know, Venus is the first of two planets that literally orbits retrograde. It literally changes the entire direction of its orbit. That's important for us because if you're going to break the cycle, sometimes you need to head in a completely different direction. That if your family has grown up in abject poverty, that it would be wise for you to change your spending habits. That if nobody in your family has gone to complete a higher education and the most they made is $30,000-$40,000 a year, it would be prudent for you to go and pursue a further education. Sometimes it might cost you to head in a completely different direction to achieve the results you're looking for. But even more than that, on a deeper level, Venus does not just spin in a completely different direction, but it changes the way it spins. While every other planet spins clockwise, counterclockwise, Venus spins clockwise. In other words, that it's not enough for you to just simply change the inputs or what you think, what you see, what you do, but we must begin to change the entire process, the way we think, the way we do, and the way we see. Because only then, in changing the way in true repentance, not for asking for forgiveness, but true repentance and changing the way we do things, the way we see, that we're able to yield optimal results. Venus is very interesting because unlike any other planet, it shares similar composition, similar size, similar geography, similar atmosphere than that of planet Earth. The only difference, and the major difference, is Earth is able to produce life, whereas Venus cannot produce life. And so many of us, we have friends, we have family members that have grown up in similar backgrounds, similar family structures, have similar education, but we're not able to produce the results that they're able to produce. And it's only because Venus, much like ourselves, harbors clouds, which prevents us from releasing the life that's within us. Some of us have clouds of bitterness and resentment and anger, worry, even frustration over the experiences and the courses of our lives, or perhaps over failed relationships or mistakes we made in the businesses, or even the industry just got completely wiped out. And instead of releasing what has been collected within us, we harbor those feelings. And as a consequence, we're unable to produce the life that God has put inside of us. I challenge each and every one of you to begin releasing not only the failures, but even the successes that you've been able to collect and garner, so that you're able to produce at another level, at a new dimension, and achieve those extraordinary results. You know, Venus was in fact the very first planet that astronauts were able to explore and to discover close up. And I understand that Mercury was our very first principle as outlined in the I'm Out of This World series. But I want to suggest to you that you begin to place preeminence and your primary focus on learning how to break the cycle. It's absolutely asinine to think that you're going to be able to break the cycle of abject poverty over your life if you continue in the same spending habits as your parents. It's crazy to believe that you're going to be able to have and foster a healthy relationship with your spouse if the behaviors and patterns are of those that have relationships have ended in divorce. You know, I challenge each and every one of you to begin to place preeminence and priority on breaking the cycles and patterns and behaviors and lifestyles that have yielded you the consistent results of failed businesses, failed relationships, failed goals, and begin to pattern yourself after individuals, after places, after experiences that you in fact want to achieve. It's only in breaking the cycle that you'll be able to live and have fulfilled relationships, that you'll be able to have wholeness and be happy with who it is that God has created you to be. Listen, I do hope that you are as blessed in your hearing as I am consistently in my sharing. Why don't you add us on Facebook at Addison P. Berry, even subscribe to our YouTube channel at Prince O'Near. And as always, won't you share this video with somebody you think could be blessed and benefit from it? Won't you join us again? Until next time, peace.
Terror stars down from the sky.